day. You guys could still check that out. You're not going to beat this deal, and you're not going to beat this experience. You're just not. The first pitch breakfast, it's a new thing. We've not done this before, and there are some tickets available. So it's Tom Ackerman hosting. Vince Coleman's going to be his guest. So it's just basically going to be storytelling. And in addition to getting to hear Vince Coleman tell great stories, and he's funny, and he's got a lot of stories, and he doesn't hold back. Like, that's one thing that's fun about talking to Vince is you're just having a conversation with a guy that likes to talk. He likes to talk baseball, and it's a fun time to do it. But with your ticket, you're also getting, like, the full breakfast, right? So you get a full breakfast buffet. You got a spot. Obviously, you're going to be sitting at a table, bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So don't go to that and drive on the way home. Like, take your time. And then you'll get an ice cold Anheuser-Busch beer and a commemorative 104.1 FM KMOX Glass 9. These are only available at that event. So if you like collectibles and things along those lines, that'll be the first collectible for 104.1 FM KMOX. And obviously the 1120 signal's not going anywhere either. So you have all of that. And then on top of all that, I feel like an infomercial, but wait, there's more. There's more at no extra cost, right? You get 2 tickets to Saturday's game. So the opening day's Thursday. Friday's going to be an off day. That's the just-in-case weather problem day. So if Thursday were to be a weather problem, then Friday would be opening day. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like we're going to be okay in that regard. But anyway, if you're going to the first pitch breakfast, you get to hear Vince Coleman. You get to eat breakfast. You get to have mimosas and Bloody Marys and some Budweiser. And then on top of that, you get 2 tickets to Saturday's game between the Cardinals and the Twins. So it's only available there. And by the way, only 20 single tickets left. I think there's some tables left too. But if you're looking for single tickets, well, actually, no, the tables are sold out. So boom, you probably want to move quick. There's only 20 left. So that's pretty easy. Just go to KMOX.com/events. Everything you want to know is there. All right. Business out of the way. Show is getting started. And obviously we've got a lot to do. So we just had a Cardinals game here on KMOX. That's one of the 2 games that they had today. So they had the game today again that you heard here against the Astros at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. And then they were also in Port St. Lucie in a split squad against the Mets. So there's a lot that went on in these 2 games, good and bad. Victor Scott hit another home run. It's getting harder and harder to make the case that he's not going to be with the team. So we'll talk about all of that with Bernie Miklasz coming up at 3:15. So
very nice.
Yeah, we get to run all of this by Bernie. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Mizzou's season coming to a close in the NCAA tournament last night. We should have time, I think, to maybe throw some Blues conversation in there too. They won a big game last night. So Bernie Miklasz is going to join us at 3:15. Dave Murray in his normal spot not long after that at 3:30. So we'll get you updated on the weather for the weekend. Let's see, what else do we got? What else do we got today? Oh, we got fish today.
We do. We have fish.
Squires is coming in.
Can you hear my mic?
I can now. I couldn't before, but I can now.
There was a problem earlier.
Yeah, nope, it's good now.
We're going to talk to Dave Murray. I'm sure you just mentioned that, but we're also going to talk to the GM of Squires, which is a restaurant I really like. It's in Lafayette Square. They're bringing in some fish because today, Andrew, are we calling this a fish fry exhibition game today?
Yeah. That's a good call, man.
That's kind of how I've been thinking.
Yeah, not part of the real competition. This doesn't count like the regular season.
Correct.
But we're
going to have some fun.
Yeah, the regular fish fry schmackdown isn't continuing today. It'll pick up next week. Just because of a lot of logistical things and Dave not being here, and I think our foodies had some scheduling conflicts as well. So easy enough to just do it this way. So you'll get instead of getting an update on one of the big Catholic fish fries, you'll get one about Squires, which is is that your old neighborhood, Rach, or your new one?
Yeah, my old one.
Old one, okay. So you're very familiar, I would assume, since it's probably right down the street from where you were hanging out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
To go grab food there quite a bit. It's a wonderful establishment.
So fast food news is in there. I don't know, some other weird stuff too. As always, it wouldn't be DGS without some weird stuff. I got a quick one. We don't have a lot of time, but it's a quick one because like the other day, it was Wednesday, I think I was driving in. I saw something I don't think I'd ever seen before. Driving down the highway coming into work. So this person was, of course, brilliantly stationed in the left lane, going about 60, which is great. We love you for doing that. But it was a woman that was going 60 in the left lane while brushing her hair.
Oh, interesting.
I think I could see the brush going through the hair. Sure. And I even saw at one point like one hand holding the back of the hair and the other side brushing it. I'm like, are you driving with your knees in the left lane of the highway? But here, I've seen stuff like that. I've seen dudes shaving.
I've seen that.
I've seen people brushing their teeth in the car, which how?
Yeah.
You're just spitting it out the window. It's going to spray all over your car. And then I've seen people brushing their hair. But A, you can't get up 2 minutes earlier. B, you can't wait till you're parked where you're going to do that.
She had a hair emergency. What can I say?
Here's the part I'd never seen before. After she finished brushing, she rolled down the window and threw out a big clump of hair that hit my car.
Oh, not
which is fun. No, it's fine. It's hair, but I've never seen anybody throw a clump of hair out of the side of their car.
Hey, Max, you look sharp in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world as a guide dog?
You bet, Daisy. And your purple service dog vest really pops against your shiny fur.
First day on the job for both of us. We've got this, right?
You bet. Dogs Inc. trained us well.
Ready to make a difference for our humans?
Born ready.
Discover how extraordinary guide and service dogs change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Got something to say to Chris and Amy?
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to thank you guys for your program every day.
You can always leave a message.
I enjoy both your commentaries and your opinions so much. Keep it up, please, because people need to know the truth, that's for sure.
To leave your message for Chris and Amy, just use the Odyssey app and click the microphone and say what you've got to say.
And also, I enjoy your time with the Dave Glover Show as well.
The Chris and Amy Show, always here for you, weekday mornings beginning at 10 on KMOX. KMOX KECK HD2 St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis. This is KMOX, always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, it is 62 degrees. Feels like it's 49 downtown at the Arch. Boeing will build the Air Force's secretive future fighter jet.
President Trump says Boeing has won the contract to build the Air Force's secretive future fighter jet.
It'll be known as the F-47.
In the Oval Office, the 47th president sat next to a rendering of the sixth-generation fighter.
The most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built.
With stealth and penetration capabilities far exceeding any current fighters, essential for a potential fight with China.
We're going to write the next generation of modern aerial warfare with this.
General David Alvin, the Air Force's top officer, but critics wonder about the jet's cost and need, since the Pentagon is still struggling to fully produce its most current advanced jet. The F-35 program is expected to cost more than $1.7 trillion, and the future B-21 stealth bomber will have many of the F-47's cutting-edge technologies. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The Chief Business Attraction Officer at Greater St. Louis Inc., Maggie Coast. How big of a win for St. Louis is this?
It's huge. I mean, Boeing already has an outsized impact on our region. They employ nearly 16,000 people. They have a supply chain that has over 350 local suppliers. Those folks employ more than 34,000 people across the region. I mean, adding to that is going to support our economy for generations to come.
How have conditions inside the St. Louis City Justice Center changed since Doug Burris took over as interim commissioner?
When I first got here, it was like I don't know if it's appropriate to say it, but like a zoo.
We getting out more shower time, we get more rate time.
The consensus of the detainees we spoke with, things are improving rapidly. They spoke to rec time tripling, more COs, and new programs giving them hope. One new program, Slate, working with detainees to help them find employment when they are outside the jail.
To give them the support and resources that they need, whether it's jobs, employment, training.
I asked Interim Commissioner Doug Burris why these changes weren't implemented sooner.
I really can't explain what happened previously, but I know we have a passionate staff that are working really hard to make sure that these people have an opportunity when they get out and don't come back.
Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Open burning is discouraged today as a red flag fire warning goes into effect until after sundown. Big River Fire Chief David Pratt.
Fire doubles every 30 seconds. And then when you got a 15, 20, 30 mile an hour wind pushing it, and then it creates its own heat, you're off running to a large fire.
Governor Mike Kehoe's office says many fire departments have had their hands full with brush fires due to dry and windy conditions. The KMOX business desk and apparel maker struggles to just do it.
Nike wants to get out of fashion and back to sports, but that turnaround effort is facing some challenges due to inventory clearance and the impact of the growing trade war. Shares falling earlier today as the sportswear maker signaled further declines in revenue and profitability from an ongoing merchandise reset that the company says is necessary for regrowth. Nike offered more discounts to clear that inventory. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now. On a Friday, we go to Stifel and Scott Bedell.
Happy Friday and good afternoon, everyone. A sharp rally in the final 15 minutes of trading brought most of the stock indexes into the plus column to end this volatile week. At the 3 p.m. close, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was higher by 32 points to 41,985. The Standard & Poor's 500 index up 0.1% at 5,667, while the NASDAQ Composite Index moved higher by 0.5% to close at 17,784. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index down 1.5 points at 1,485. Checking on stocks of local interest, Reinsurance Group of America gained 0.2% at $191.86. Boeing added 3% at $178.11. Stifel Financial up a nickel at $98.27. On the downside, Anheuser-Busch slipped 0.4% to $62.78, while Caleres lost 2%. They closed at 16.5. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
There's a crash on Lindbergh going northbound at Plaza Frontenac. Has Lindbergh completely closed. Stalled vehicle 6440 west of McCausland on the right shoulder. 44 east at Shrewsbury on the right shoulder. 6440 west at Chesterfield Parkway West. That's got the right shoulder closed there. 270 going east at Elizabeth on the right shoulder. 70 west at Salisbury on the right shoulder.
Oh, it's the old spring wind continuing to dominate on this Friday. Very windy with wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour going through the afternoon. Partly sunny sky, 67. So once again, the fire danger stays high. A lot of dust and pollen in the air. Also some smoke in the air from wildfires off to our south. Tonight, clear, windy most of the night, 39. The weekend, Saturday, sunny, 59. Saturday night, rain moves in after midnight, 47 for the low. And Sunday, morning showers. Otherwise, a lot of clouds around Sunday at 65. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's a cloudy sky, 63 in St. Peter's, 62 in Florissant, 62. Feels like 49 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
You're listening to The Dave Glover Show, sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloor.com.
All right, it's 3:06 on DGS. Dave out today, and he'll be back on Monday. Monday, of course, a big day here as we will be flipping the switch. 104.1 FM KMOX becomes a reality at 12:01 a.m. Monday morning. So that'll be great, and that'll be permanent moving forward. 1120 is not going anywhere. So if you live further out, you're always going to have that. Don't have to worry about it. The Odyssey app's not going anywhere. So if you listen that way, well, you're still good. You're still golden. I don't know. I said you're still good. You're still good.
Still good? Yeah.
I'm just gonna say mushed words.
You gotta do
in
it.
the next 10 minutes. I don't know why I just went straight to the dude from the Water Boy, the coach that nobody could understand. Go. All right. I don't know why I broke into that. Whatever. That's the way it went. And we have so that'll be Monday. Obviously, Thursday's opening day. Great big opening day. That we'll be looking forward to. Sounds like weather is going to be good. We're going to be inside at Ballpark Village, which takes away a lot of the risk if there's rain or whatever. And obviously the game, looking forward to that. And we'll talk more about the Cardinals, who had a split squad game, set of split squad games today. Good Lord, the words do not want to work today.
You sound like me.
Trying
to read my headlines.
A set of split squad games. It's like she sells seashells down by the seashore. But the split squad games today, Cardinals lost both, but there were some good and bad in both. And we'll go over that with Bernie Miklasz coming up at 3:15. Same thing with the Blues, who had a big win last night. Same thing with Mizzou, who did not have a big win last night, and then Illinois plays tonight at 8:45. Why don't we do some fast food news before we get to Bernie and some Cardinals talk?
Sounds good, Wheels, because we have some very relevant insights to offer into fast food.
Andrew
news
is our
today.
insider.
He is, because my first story is about KFC. They just launched its first new bucket offering in nearly 10 years with the all-new Dunk It bucket, featuring new mashed potato poppers. So I saw this last night while I was doing my research for fast food news segment, immediately sent it to my friend Andrew, and he was on the ground today. He got this for lunch. Let's get a
Break
little,
it down. Let's go.
little off the cuff review here, if you don't mind.
It was okay. Back to you, Rach. No,
just fine.
It was
all right.
okay.
It's all right. No, it was pretty good. You get the original recipe. Some of this camera looks funny.
Yeah, it was like right at the top of my forehead.
You get original recipe tenders, which I'm a little bearish, I think, on the original recipe tenders. I'm not the biggest fan. Not crazy about them. I don't dislike them. I like them more than their old tenders, but I think that they are a little I think they're not quite as good as people often give them credit for, personally.
All right.
Okay.
And then you
the
get
mashed potato poppers.
Then you get the tater poppers, which are sort of like big crispy tots, right? They're sort of a circle. They look like
Are they like potato puffs?
No, they're not puffs. They are.
No?
They have a crunchy outside, light crunchy outside, not real crunchy, and then the inside is like solid mashed potatoes.
Like
And
a potato croquette, kind of.
yeah, but they held together very well.
Did I say that wrong?
No,
Wheels?
no, it's a great description.
Uh-huh. And they held together pretty well when you bite them in half or whatever to make them last a little longer because you only get 5 of them. They don't fall apart. So that I was happy about. And then you get the fries, which I'm not the biggest fan of KFC's fries, but they were okay today. They were.
So,
and then you get like dipping stuff like gravy and sauce and all that.
So they're like, here's some chicken.
Yes.
And some potatoes, and then some potatoes on top of your potatoes.
Yes, you get essentially 2 kinds of crunchy outside stuff with tater on inside.
All right.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe some coleslaw mixed in there just for some greenery.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese would be good.
Maybe throw a biscuit in. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, there
Biscuit
you go.
would always be a huge help.
Yeah.
Everything at KFC should come with a biscuit.
Listen, KFC, we have ideas.
We do, and we go there a lot, so
Yeah,
you should listen.
We
to us.
do.
A lot of expertise in
even
this
though
studio.
it is totally crazy down there, we still go down there.
Well, it's
the
close. Because if it was 2 streets away,
Yeah,
we'd
we
probably
would not be
never
doing
go
this.
That is correct.
All right,
Not
Pete-
to KFC, but to this KFC.
Yes. Pizza Hut is launching a limited time $11.99 large 3-topping pizza deal. It's all right there in the headline, what I just said. $11.99 for a large 3-topping pizza. That's a pretty darn good deal. You can get it hand-tossed, tavern style, or thin crust pizza. You could also do stuffed crust, but you're going to do about a $3 upcharge for that. So something to keep in mind if you're thinking of ordering a pizza this weekend.
When are you not thinking about ordering a pizza on the
That's a
weekend?
good question.
Doesn't mean you're going to do it, but you're always thinking about it.
You know, I tried the Domino's stuffed crust recently.
Yeah?
It's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, they do it in like a garlicky, they brush garlic and Parmesan over the top of the crust. And
Alright.
it's quite tasty.
Yeah.
Yum.
Since it is Fish Friday, a lot of these fast food restaurants want to offer up fish offerings during Lent season. Shrimp nibblers and fish nibblers have returned to White Castle. These are bite-sized pieces of butterfly shrimp coated with seasoned batter and fried until crispy. That's the shrimp nibblers, obviously. The fish nibblers are bite-sized batter and fried Alaskan pollock pieces.
I don't like that name.
The nibbler. Yeah, I feel weird saying
It's like
nibbler.
you're almost like they're nibbling on you,
Yeah.
which makes it weird. How about like little chunks?
Get some fish
Get
chunks.
some shrimp chunks. Nuggets. How about that? Shrimp nuggets.
Yeah, that sounds
Fish
pretty
nuggets.
good.
Yeah, I eat that. I don't know if I want nibblers. It's weird.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Quiznos is introducing a new gluten-free bread option. The extra charge for that varies by location, but I mean, this is great. If you have gluten sensitivities and you like Quiznos, they just did something really awesome for you.
Is that going to fall in line with, are people, and I'm not questioning whether they should or shouldn't be, but do you think people are going to be annoyed that it costs more, or do people just kind of accept it because kind of the way it is sometimes if you're dealing with that?
I That's a good question because people do, like, for example, like Andrew's wife Megan is allergic to milk.
Mhm.
If you get almond milk, a lot of times they do upcharge you, and it's like, well, it's not my fault that I can't have the typical milk here.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
They're gonna use Udi's for their gluten-free bread.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying that right. So I'm assuming that brand is part of the reason why you're
Yeah.
getting an upcharge.
Good
there.
point. Yeah, big brand in stores and things. Yeah.
This is my final fast food news story, but it is relevant to anyone who goes through a drive-through,
Mhm.
particularly KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and Habit Burger and Grill. I don't think we have those in the area,
Mhm.
but these are all Yum brands, and they are going to introduce AI ordering at certain fast food locations within the next 3 months. So they'll have voice-automated order-taking AI agents, computer vision enhanced operations, accelerated restaurant intelligence.
Oh,
So
boy.
these are analytics and agents to assess restaurant performance. That sounds awful if you work there. You're being like, your robot overlords are telling you you're doing a bad job.
You're putting too much
Yeah.
meat on the taco.
The company didn't specify which locations will implement the new technology, but this is just something to keep an eye out for. Maybe the next time you go through Taco Bell, you're going to have an AI agent taking your order.
How long before nobody ever orders anything at any of the fast food places outside of the app?
Ooh.
Because I say, like, over the weekend when
Hmm.
we were coming back, was it going to? Well, I don't know, one way or the other. When we were going either to or from Chicago, we stopped at McDonald's and I sat in the parking lot and ordered on the app.
Because it's
Instead
just
of going,
easier.
well, you get a better deal because you always get some deal, whatever. And yeah, because then you don't have to deal with going to the kiosk and doing it there because it's no easier on the kiosk than it is on the phone. It's really the same thing.
Right.
And on the phone, you're going to get some offer of some kind. And I wonder if that's just going to be the way it is. You're just not going to have AI orders. You're not going to have humans taking orders. You're just going to order it on your app and then drive up.
I think most people will shift to that, but I just can't stop thinking about older folks
Yeah.
who maybe
Like
don't
me.
even have people who don't even have a smartphone,
Yeah.
I saw a really interesting article the other day and it was like, hey, keep in mind that as everything gets easier, aka moves online, just because it's easier for you doesn't mean that it's easier for the older generation. Like it can be extremely confusing. They didn't grow up with it. And now it's like, oh yeah, you want to take care of that? You better log into your online account and blah, blah, blah. That's really difficult for some older folks. So I would say within the next 5 years, probably most of the business is going to be done on the apps, like
Yeah.
you said, but they'll still have the drive-through.
Yeah, I was thinking more like 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
Mm.
Like when the Gen Xers are in their, mid to late 60s, 70s. Because as a Gen Xer, you have the technology and
Yeah.
you've had it since you were 25, 30 years old. So there's no reason to be worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, down the road, it may just be as simple as that. Just like how long ago was it we were wondering when is every TV service going to be streaming instead of
Right.
through a cable or whatever? Well, we're at that point now.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
Tell you guys about Triton Exteriors. You deserve a pleasant experience from the time you contact Triton until the time they wipe down your fence or your gutters, your siding, your roof. They hand you the bill for exactly what they said it was going to be before it started. Everything should be pleasant. I'm not saying it's going to be fun. Like, look, they're putting on shingles, honey. But you get what I'm saying. You shouldn't have to crawl across broken glass to get a fair price. You shouldn't have to crawl across broken glass to get them to show up when they say they're going to show up. Sure, St. Louis weather's unpredictable, and if we have a horrible storm, we're not going to be on a roof putting your shingles on. But other than that, we should stand by our word. It all comes down to Tim. Tim is the owner. I like him very much. We're actual friends in real life. So if you have a roof, siding, gutters, fences, decks, things like that, you need to be built. You need to reach out to get a bid from Triton. 314-717-1159, triton-stl.com.
All right, guys, Kevin Wheeler here about my friends at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. And well, there's a place too, not just the .com, but go to the .com to make sure that you're doing things the way you want to do it and find out more, man. Because when I say friends, I mean, it's such a cool, friendly environment. I've gotten to know the owner, Matt. He's a great guy. Everybody that works in the office is phenomenal, professional, friendly. It's super laid back. So if you're dealing with low energy, if you're dealing with performance issues in the bedroom, if you're dealing with weight gain, they have possible solutions that they can tailor to you So all you got to do is check it out. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Set yourself up with an appointment. You'll go through a quick consultation. It'll be a blood test to see kind of where your strengths and weaknesses are and what can help you. And then you go through the consultation, and everything is overseen by board-certified physicians. The staff are all trained experts. This is what they do. Men's health is what they do. And on top of all of that, you get told up front, here's what it's going to cost. It's going to be this, and it's going to be this on the monthly thing, and it doesn't change. Even if your treatments change a little bit, that part's going to stay the same. They are the best. Customer service is better than you could imagine, and I'm getting results from the TRT, which is the testosterone replacement therapy, because I was low, and now I'm not, and I feel better. It's just that simple. So if you don't feel great, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, and you get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At Hims, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that Hims can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at Hims. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to Hims.
Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-380-9012. 800-380-9012. Again, that's 800-380-9012.
The Bernie Miklasz Report is sponsored by Salika Heating and Cooling, an American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
All right, Friday on DGS. Dave out today, back on Monday when we have our big blowout party as we switch over to 104.1 FM. And I shouldn't say switch over. We switch on that, and then the two go together, 104.1 and 1120 on the AM dial. So Dave will be back on Monday. Rachel and Andrew and I are here. Bernie Miklasz is here for his regular Friday visit. Good to talk to you again, Bern. It feels like we did this about 2.5 hours ago.
You know, Wheels, I talk to you more than like any living person. That includes my wife. Because I'm always working up here in my office and she's downstairs. And I even joked about it. I said, you know, I think I'm going to just ask Wheeler to move in with us.
Oh,
so
nice.
have my buddy here. Somebody just my talking buddy.
All right. Well, you know,
it's fun. It's fun.
You know, I make a mean crab cake, Bernie.
I'll be the judge.
All right. One of these days I'll have to put it to the test, because the truth is, if I can get a Baltimore guy to like it, then it must be good. So I'm going to test it one of these days. When I make them next, I'm going to get one for you.
and I am a snob. I admit it. I'm a insufferable when
It's
it
your
comes to
area of
certain
expertise, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. All right. Cardinals today, split squad, lost both. That doesn't really matter. Some good and some bad, but let's start with the good. What we talked about today on the Gas House Gang, you and Matt Pauley and I, was a lot about Victor Scott, and he goes deep again, this time against an all-star starter, against Framber Valdez, who, let's be honest, hung a slider, but that's what you do with a hanging slider. You hit it out, and Victor Scott just keeps impressing, man.
Yeah, he does. I was reading something online the other day, and somebody was saying, "Well, I don't think Victor Scott. I get, look, I like him, but he's not ready." And the guy was pointing out how, hey, look at Baseball Reference. They tell you the caliber of pitchers that guys have faced this spring, and he was pointing out how Victor Scott has faced a lot of like AA pitchers and AAA pitchers. And my answer to that, well, all the hitters are facing those pitchers.
Yeah.
So what like it is astonishing to me the number of people that are lined up to like nitpick Victor Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, my dear beloved Cardinals fans, do you really want a young, exciting, talented player who represents the future, or you don't? You want to just keep doing the same thing? I don't get it.
Yeah. And by the way, nobody's suggesting that the level of performance we've seen in the spring is what you're going to see in the regular season. Like nobody thinks he's going to go hit 350.
But
right? But if he hits 260, he's an impact player.
But and we talked about it on the Gas House Gang, and it's available. People should go watch the discussion. It was right at the top. And one of the other things that gets on my nerves is people who keep telling me, it's like, well, I really like Victor. He's having a great spring, but he was really good last spring, and it really didn't matter.
Right.
Because he's an entirely different hitter. I mean, he is a dramatically different hitter. Like the way he sets up, his philosophy, the way he positions his hands, the way he uses his legs. He's hitting he had one extra base hit last spring in 41 at bats.
Yeah.
This spring, he's got 15 hits and 7 have been extra base hits. He's killing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I don't know what the heck he would have to do to make the team as the starting center fielder.
Yeah, I don't know. If he hasn't already, then it wasn't going to happen anyway, right? Like they had already made up their minds if it doesn't happen at this point. So we'll find out. We're going to know by Sunday because they're going to be going north, and I know Monday is the game in Memphis. So that was one of the good stories today. Michael McGreevy was a great story, 5 shutout innings. It wasn't the full Mets lineup, so it wasn't no Lindor and Soto, but the rest of them were there. Pete Alonso was there. Mark Vientos was there. Brandon Nimmo was there. So, I mean, 5 shutout innings for him as he continues to make a case to be a part of this. And I know it's going to take some creativity, but he certainly has done everything he can.
I want to ask you a question. Yeah, I totally agree. Are you okay? McGreevy has taken. It took him a while in the minors.
It did, yeah.
He really wasn't all that impressive. And listen, I know that happens. That doesn't mean a guy can't make it.
Right.
How surprised are you in terms of how quickly, after kind of like being an average type of guy in the minors, how quickly he became a really nasty pitcher? I mean, his stuff is nasty. Talk to us about that, because I'd like to hear what you have to say.
He just made a few tweaks and started attacking a little bit differently. He was a guy, I think, Bernie, he's a guy that if the Cardinals had done the things they're doing now with player development and the pitching lab and all that, he probably would have made those changes and had those things happen a little sooner. But the fact that those things happen at the highest levels, AAA and the major leagues, is probably the most encouraging thing, right? He wasn't a college guy blowing away 19-year-old players in A-ball. I mean, he was making those adjustments and getting better against good hitters. So you're seeing a little bit better combo with his fastball breaking ball, but also you're just seeing an attack mentality, right? He has made it his goal to throw strikes and then go as deep into games as you can. And that's one of the great things about him, Bernie. If he makes the team, there are no workload worries. This is a guy that's carried a workload. This is a guy that could go out and throw you 180 innings, 190 innings right now without any problem.
Yeah, I think he's going to be on the team one way or the other. I hope Scott is. But, Kevin, what would it be like if, you can make the case without much effort that the best pitcher in camp, most impressive pitcher in camp has been Michael McGreevy. He's got a 1.08 ERA. He hasn't walked anyone in 16 and two-thirds innings.
That's the number to look at, too.
Right. And so and Victor Scott, by far, their most impressive offensive player, by far. So how in the world could the Cardinals justify this if both of these guys open the season in Memphis? I mean, after all of this talk about a reset, a runway, transition, don't these two guys represent exactly what the team wants the public to believe?
Yes. They're the perfect age, right? They're 23,
Yeah.
24 years old. They're not
Yep.
28. They're not 21, and you're pushing them early. They're in that sweet spot where, yes, if you're performing and you're doing the things that you've been asked to do, you would think that would be a big part of what the team wants to do this year. And it'd just be fascinating to see by the time we get to Monday how those decisions played out. And then we can all talk about it on the Gas House Gang next week, on the Redbird Rush Hour next week, and, of course, here on DGS as well. We're a little tight today, Bern, obviously,
That's cool, brother.
with the clock, so we get a little Cardinals in. If people want to hear Bernie and I talk, and Matt Pauley, too, talking about Mizzou's season coming to an end or the Blues, you can do that on the Gas House Gang. Just go to YouTube. You go to Facebook, Twitter, or just podcast it anywhere you get your podcast. We did a lot of that earlier today as well. So thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend. Tell us about Saliga.
I'd be happy to do it. Saliga Heating and Cooling's been taking care of us for 16 years, and they've been great every step of the way. And I'm not surprised. I mean, this proud independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer has been serving St. Louis families since 1927. In fact, the Saligas, there's 4 generations continuously have owned and operated this business. Dan Saliga in charge now, and just a great guy, and he'll take care of you and your family. Because we have found, being a client of Saliga Heating and Cooling for so long, when they come to your home, you can count on 100% honesty. They're not going to try to hustle, upsell you, talk you into something, take advantage of the fact that maybe you're not sure, like, whether you need something, and they sense that they can, sort of twist your arm into buying. They're not like that at all. They're the exact opposite. You know why? Because of the Saliga name, because of what I just talked about. It's 4 generations have owned this thing since 1927. Listen, when your name's on the business, when it's on the front door, it's on the sign, it's on the vans, it's on the trucks, man, it just does something to your sense of honor. You're going to uphold the family reputation, and that's why Saliga is so special. And they also have that American Standard equipment. I want to recommend everyone go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Take a look at the Priority Club. It's a maintenance program. It will save you money and give you peace of mind. We're members of the Priority Club maintenance program, so I wouldn't advise you to do it unless we were doing it ourselves. Nobody wants to have heating and cooling problems, but if you should have problems, take it from me. You will be relieved to know that Saliga is on the way. They are outstanding. Financing options are available, subject to credit approval. One more time, go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Have a great weekend.
At 3:30, it is 62 degrees downtown at the Arch. Boeing will build the Air Force's future fighter jet. The Pentagon says the new jet fleet will have stealth and penetration capabilities that far exceed the current fleet and is essential in a potential conflict with China. Air Force General David Allen.
This shows that American talent, American skill, and American determination are second to none, because this platform is second to none.
St. Louis County approved more than $150 million in tax breaks for the prospective manufacturing project 2 years ago. They've cleared some debris on 364 going eastbound at the Missouri River. Stalled vehicle 70 going west at Salisbury on the right shoulder. Some debris on 364. That's what they've just cleared. A crash on 170 going south at 6440. Some lane blockages there. So if you're 170 south approaching Highway 40, that's what that backup is there. Stay tuned for Dave Murray's weekend forecast. Right now, 62, feels like 50 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
When news breaks, St. Louis turns to the team that knows your community best. At KMOX, our newsroom is dedicated to delivering the stories that matter to you. KMOX News is here for St. Louis.
This is Tom Ackerman of Total Information AM.
This is Debbie Monterey.
This
is Megan Lynch.
Hi, this is Michael Calhoun with KMOX News.
I'm Maria Kina.
Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Starting March 24th, listen to the voice of St. Louis at 104.1 FM.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist with Timberline Professional Tree Care. In my nearly 30 years in the industry, I've seen firsthand what damage falling trees can do to your property. The sad thing is that most trees that fail have defects that can be identified by a well-trained certified arborist. At Timberline, we have 7 ISA certified arborists, 3 of which have gone through extensive training and testing to become tree risk assessment qualified. Our track certified arborists can perform a thorough assessment of your tree and provide mitigation options for your peace of mind. If there's nothing wrong with your tree, we will let you know that it poses a low risk of failure. If it needs to be removed, we'll tell you in a detailed written report. It's all about honesty and integrity here at Timberline Professional Tree Care. So call us today to get a tree risk assessment scheduled. 636-479-7475 or contact us through our website at stltreecare.com.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet. And we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place.
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business.
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate, paid for by Bayer.
So everybody has worries, and I don't know. I always thought that by the time I got to this age, I would have it pretty well figured out, but you find out that you don't. And especially finances, when you get to, I'm 60 now, and if you're within 10 years either way of me, you start to really see the reality of retirement. And even if you've been pretty dedicated and disciplined about saving, did you save enough? Well, that depends. And we can help you figure that out at Retirement Planning 101, which is a 3-hour course provided by financial and tax architects. We'll talk about tax savings, 401k, how to get your money out, Roth conversions, when do you take your Social Security, how do you pay for your health care, all these things and more. It's all free. No one's going to give you a hard sell at the end. Simply call 314-350-8110, 350-8110 to reserve a spot at Retirement Planning 101. 314-350-8110 for financial and tax architect.
All right, just past 3:35, 3:36 here on KMOX. DGS, Dave out today, back on Monday. Monday is our big flip the switch day. 104.1 FM KMOX becomes a reality and joins 1120 KMOX to dominate the radio world.
That's the plan.
Really looking forward to that. And obviously, our friend Dave Murray is going to be a part of all of this as we go forward. You excited about that, Dave?
I am. My switch has been flipped already. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Nothing again. We got some lineup changes to Nothing Affects DGS. It's gonna stay the same time, same style, same everything. As Dave put it, with kind of a refreshed approach on a few things like guests and things like that. But otherwise, same style, same subjects, same everything. And the big additions would be the Gas House Gang moving to live on the air at noon. It's been streaming on noon since November, so that'll be live from noon to 1, and then Matt Pauley and I will do the Redbird Rush Hour, Dave. So that'll be 5 to 6. Okay. Mostly cards, but it'll be some. I mean, still going to do. By the way, anybody worried, Dave, for you? We're still going to do the weather during that. We're still going to do the traffic. I am a certified weather spotter, so I am okay to do the weather during the 5 o'clock hour. Not the forecast. I just read it. I just read what you wrote down. Is all. Yeah. Just read what you said is all I'm going to do. But nothing else will change. Like the traffic's still going to be there. You're not going to miss out on any of that. It's just we'll have Matt Pauley at the ballpark on a lot of days, and we'll be just covering the Cardinals leading up to the pregame and all that. So those are the biggest changes. And obviously, Ron will be driving the the Gas House Gang at noons, and then Matt and I will be in the afternoon, and Bernie's going to be on all of it, and Tom's going to be on all of it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Cool. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I should know the answer to this. Is there a correlation between preseason baseball and the actual season?
Yes, to a degree, right? Like to a degree. So there are times I can use a specific example like Miles Michaelis. Miles had a great spring last year, like 1.5 ERA, no walks, really good, and then just got hammered for 6 months in the regular season. So it can make a difference, and it's more often that it's a sign of something. Like when you think about what we see, right? You see a guy hitting 310. So, what you have to kind of consider is who did he face? Was he facing minor leaguers or major leaguers in spring training? How many of those were hit hard? So when you add it all together, you can have some meaning, but even that can be deceiving. So, and just as an example, like people, this is a big one. So in 2023, Dave, the Cardinals ended up winning, 72, 73 games, right? They were the best team in spring training that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that answers a lot, right?
Yes. Right. I try to think of it with individuals, but that's the simplest thing. Like it really doesn't guarantee anything. The regular season is its own thing.
How important is spring training?
Super important to get ready, right? Super important for pitchers to build up the workload, for hitters to get their timing, to make whatever changes they want to make. If guys are learning new positions, like it's really important for those things. But in terms of outcomes, everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. Everything. Okay. Yep. Okay. And there are things. So we just had Bernie Miklasz on, Dave, and we were talking about Victor Scott because he's been really exciting. He's had a great spring. And he had a good spring last year too, and that didn't work out so well when he got to the big leagues. But the things that are different this year that we can measure, he's hitting the ball a lot harder. He's not swinging at as many crappy pitches as he was last year. He's only swinging at good ones. Like he's doing things that are clearly different. Even if the numbers kind of on the surface look the same, the under the surface stuff is still telling us this is a different player, a better player.
Cool. Answered my questions.
Good.
Thank you.
That's a good question. We like that one. All right. So here's my question for you.
I'll be on the Gas Out Gang before you.
Dude, Dave, you are welcome as a guest on the Redbird Rush Hour or on the Gas House Gang anytime you want to do it.
Okay.
Anytime you want to do it. Hey, and if you join us in the 5 o'clock hour, you could talk some ball with us and do the weather with us.
There you go. Could talk about game forecast.
There we go. All right, we're gonna figure that out. We got to have Dave Murray on one of these at one point. All right, my question for you is: what are we looking at this weekend? Is it going to be like this today? Because today's gotten good, even though it was cold this morning.
Yeah, it was cold, but it's been cloudy. The cloudy right now. The clouds will give way later on. It stays windy tonight. The good news: it's a 50-50 weekend. Saturday's the best day of the weekend. The better news is light winds on Saturday for a change. Plenty of sunshine, 62. Next system starts to come in Saturday night. Clouds will take over. The evening is fine. Winds pick up again. Showers and a couple of thunderstorms after midnight. I don't see anything severe. 47 for the low. Sunday, scattered showers, possible thunderstorms, an unsettled day. It's not going to be raining all day, but it's one of these days where I think the most we'll see is in the morning with some possible isolated action during the afternoon. 65. Again, nothing severe, but the stronger storms could produce some small to moderate size hail. That's just about all they have in it. They're isolated. Wouldn't worry about it. Clear skies Sunday night, Monday sunny and 62. And right now, opening day looks okay.
Very good.
Sunshine dominates. Yeah,
man, that's the main thing, right? I mean,
yes.
No rain means no delay, but warm is the kicker. Like that's the bonus. We can deal with no rain and cold, but we don't want the cold. The cold still kind of stinks on opening day.
And we all remember we've had opening days with snow and thunderstorms and rain. And
I think we've
had great ones too.
I think opening day 2014 was awful. Like super cold. I remember it because I was broadcasting outside during it, and it sucked. It was terrible. It was no fun at all. But at least for us this year, no matter what, the Kegs and Eggs and all that's indoors at Ballpark Village. So that'll be good.
Cool.
But I'm going to the game, so I want that to be nice and enjoyable. And baseball in the cold is not fun.
No, not at all.
Not fun for the players either. It's hitting a baseball when it's like 30 degrees isn't the worst. That was my whole high school experience. It's the worst.
Yeah, I would assume that the bat just like vibrates in your hand.
Yeah, you don't move everything. I don't know. there are times when it gets to normal where you hit it and you're like, that felt great, but you got to be almost perfect.
Okay.
If you're wrong, and you're already like slower anyway because your muscles tighten up. But I'll say this.
Golf's the same way.
It is,
Golf in the cold is awful.
It is. It's the same thing. But the difference, like the only guys that really are okay on cold days are catchers and pitchers, because you're doing the most. You have a good sweat going, you loosen up a little bit. But man, if you're just like playing right field and standing out there, freezing your butt off, it's not great. It's even worse when you're on the bench because you just sit there the whole time under a big blanket. Usually, actually, a big jacket, not so much a big blanket. Sounds good, though. I'm glad it sounds like it's trending toward a good opening day.
Yes.
Weather-wise next week. Want to do some headlines, Rach?
Sure, we'll do a couple here. Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. Man, it seems like every other day we have a story about a flight gone wrong here in the United States. Well, a Southwest flight nearly departed from a taxiway in Orlando after the crew mistook the surface for the nearby runway.
That's a wild story.
That is
I can't
a
even
wild story.
I can't even wrap my head around that story.
Yeah, like what were you doing that you got mixed up between the
Yeah.
taxi and the runway? Like what was going on in that cockpit? What's your explanation, folks?
And what's going on in the tower? I mean, it's just not the pilots. It's the whole situation.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You cleared a plane to take off from that position.
Well, an air traffic controller was the person who stopped them and was like, whoa, what are you guys doing?
Guys.
Yeah, like you're not in the right spot. The incident occurred when the crew mistook the taxiway for the runway during takeoff. Southwest is cooperating with investigations to ensure safety. The airline emphasized the importance of safety for customers and employees in a statement. I'm excited to learn more about this one because it is odd. It is odd to say the least. DoorDash will start letting users eat now and pay in installments. I don't know if you've ever heard of Klarna, but that allows you to pay for something over time in interest-free installments or deferred options. Now you can do this with your DoorDash payments. I think this is a horrible idea. If you're in dire enough straits that you need to split up your Taco Bell order, just don't order it in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to throw this at Dave, too, because, I mean, like, we've been around a little bit, and if you have to finance your dinner, cook your own.
Yes.
Don't be ordering DoorDash if you're like, well, I can't pay for all of it now.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty good sign you shouldn't be eating out.
Go get some spaghetti noodles and cook it up.
Get some ramen.
Yeah.
You know what you do? Like, here's a good dinner, man. Get some. This was college for me a lot. Get some ramen, get some slices of cheese and some bread, and have grilled cheese and ramen. It's awesome.
Sounds good to me.
A lot of
Even
carbs.
better yet, how about a can of Spam? There you go.
No.
Fry that up. Yeah.
No.
It's awesome.
That's the Hawaii thing in you.
That's right.
Man,
a little rice, a little Spam.
I was always so grossed out by the thought of Spam until I had it. It is so delicious.
Ah,
You can get low. You can get low sodium Spam.
No.
Yeah, a little couple of eggs, a little rice. Awesome.
I
not every day. Just
no,
once in a while.
it's not even. It's not a health thing. It's like I'm okay with ham. It's fine, but I don't like it enough to eat a mashed up version of it.
Fair enough.
Hey, pretend it's not ham.
It's ham.
What if they had like a chicken Spam?
Yeah.
Steak Spam.
I'd try it. I mean,
yeah, I would too.
I'm sure there's a version of it somewhere.
Let's do one more story and then
All
we'll
right.
take a break. A NASA spacecraft will make another close pass to the sun. NASA's Parker Solar Probe is set to make its second close pass with the sun, flying within 3.8 million miles of the star. This spacecraft was launched in 2018, and it's the fastest ever built by humans. It'll hit speeds of 430,000 miles per hour at its closest approach. Scientists hope the data collected by Parker will help them understand the sun's outer atmosphere and solar wind.
Man,
Kind of cool.
Those numbers always blow me away. Like, we're gonna get close. 3.8 million miles away is
Yeah.
close in like astronomical terms. That's
Getting all
crazy.
burnt up.
Dave, have a great weekend.
You too, guys.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center. This traffic report is a service of Interpark Holdings. Got a few crashes out there on a Friday to start things off. Southbound 170 before 64, crash in the left lanes. South 170 is a solid jam at Delmar. Westbound 70 as you leave the city through Jennings Station, slow, a little busy at the east terminal of the airport. 94 through Zumbo, and then a jam at Mid Rivers. We have a crash between 79 and TR Hughes that's in the left lane. Eastbound 70 is kind of heavy through that TR Hughes area. Having a look at it as well, by the way. Westbound 64, just slow from Kings Highway out through McCausland. In St. Charles County, it's heavy from 364 out to 70. By the way, 70 west to TR Hughes is a little busy at Bryan Road and Lake St. Louis out through 61. Eastbound 70 from the Wright City Rest area all the way into Wentzville, slow. We had an earlier incident out to the west there, and it's just unwinding from that. We're also working a crash that was in the right lane. South 270 south of Tesson Ferry, traffic's bogged down back through 44. Not a solid jam, but heavy. Eastbound 44 Lafayette to the Poplars, heavy. The bridge, 64 both ways between the bridge and 3rd Street. You've got delays. Southbound 55 Gasconade debates. Then Z down through McNutt is slow, and the eastbound 70 a little jam up east of the Three Eyes in Troy in that emergency repair zone. Make any day parking easy with iParkit. The 2 convenient locations on Clark Avenue, right next to the ballpark. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using your license plate. Choose iParkit for convenience and peace of mind. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Let me tell you guys about Dr. Corey Solman, my orthopedic surgeon. He is a super nice guy, and that matters because when you are discussing something like getting a knee replacement or a hip replacement for you or your elderly loved one who may be really afraid of going under general anesthetic, or maybe it's for a young person who's like a little 12-year-old soccer player and tore an ACL or an MCL, and you want someone who can connect with them, not a cold fish, not a God complex surgeon, not someone who's just very cold and austere. That's Corey. He's very cool. He's very nice. He's very funny. He also happens to be one of the very best surgeons in the Midwest. I know so many doctors, as you know, I do lives for many, many doctors, and they send patients back and forth. And all the doctors I know, when someone comes in or they say, hey, by the way, my mom, I think she needs a knee replacement, always send them to Dr. Corey Solman. He's out in Chesterfield. When you call, make sure you let him know that you're from the show because he and I are good buddies. 636-231-5881 or Solman, S-O-L-M-A-N, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
The KMOX First Pitch Breakfast presented by Budweiser is Thursday and features an unfiltered conversation with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Vince Coleman. Tables are on sale now and include a delicious breakfast buffet, bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, and an ice-cold Budweiser. Plus, you'll get 2 free tickets to Saturday's Cards-Twins game. Start this unofficial holiday with KMOX, Budweiser, Overhead Door Company, St. Louis Composting, Rally House, and Dirt Cheap. Get 20% off your table now by using the code KMOX. Everything you need at KMOX.com/events.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Looking to give your bathroom an affordable facelift? Maybe you need your shower area to become a safer space for your family's needs. Hey, it's Trish with a recommendation. Michaels can come in and give you a free quote. We'll discuss your needs and help figure out what would work best for your space and budget. Michaels Baths remodeled bathrooms all over the St. Louis region. 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the BBB. You'll love these guys. Michaels Bass, 636-775-0800.
Hello, Stacy again from Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living, telling you about our spring special. Move by the end of April and get a great discount off 3 months rent. Not ready to move? No better time than the present to start planning. Come experience the environment at our 50s Sock Hop featuring Trilogy on Thursday, April 17th. RSVP to 636-754-2317 or visit us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves.
That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovite Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovite Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovite.com.
News, talk, cards at 104.1 FM starting March 24th. Set your preset now.
I'm playing with the stream cameras. I'm not afraid to push buttons.
Man, you were giving me motion sickness earlier.
I didn't do
adjusting
that.
your
Well, I
camera.
did kind of inadvertently. Like the button got stuck on the keyboard. It was like stuck underneath the little cord on the mic thing there. So it was making my camera turn on and off, on and off, on and off really fast. Like you're flicking a light switch in a room.
I was like, oh.
That's kind of like that. Yeah, I didn't mean it. It wasn't on purpose. But yeah, I'm not afraid to play around with technology. I run those things a lot for the Gas House Gang, so I'm a
Oh, the StreamYards, you mean?
I'm an expert.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun doing the stream. We were so resistant
You got
to
a
it
great
for so
big
long.
brown paper bag right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's
the
full of
fish.
delicious fish from Squires.
Oh my God, is it good?
So good. The
We-
shrimps.
we just-
Oh,
He just did a taster in like during the break. I'm like, how do I not eat it all right now? Like right now in the next 2 minutes before the break. Yeah, so we'll definitely look forward to talking to AJ Miller from Squires here in just a few minutes. That'll be right after the top of the hour. And of course, we got a few things left to do. We got another full hour to talk. We may have a little update on a couple Cardinal things later on. We don't know for sure who's making the team and who's not and all of that. But if anything pops up, that's going to start, probably tomorrow and Sunday, that news. But if anything pops up here now that the games are over, we'll definitely let you know. Rach, you have some life hacks, or did you find some? Like these are your hacks, or
no, these are just general life
general
hacks.
hacks? All right.
We have a couple of seconds here. I can get through a few of them.
Oh, let's do a couple now. We'll save the rest for later. Let's
Okay.
do a tease now.
So apparently putting a pinch of salt in your coffee is a way to make it taste way better. I guess it gets rid of some of the bitterness. If you're
Okay.
I
I've heard that.
like the bitterness in my
All right.
coffee, but
You gonna try it?
Yeah, you know what? I'll try it tomorrow and I'll
All right.
report back. And then Andrew just went to the DMV earlier today. If you want a shorter wait time at the DMV, they suggest to show up just before it closes for the day. Apparently, everything is moving faster because the workers just want to go home. I don't know if I
Interesting.
trust
I don't know.
that.
Yeah, okay, you might get stuck, but that motivation's a good motivation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time to leave is good motivation. All right, we'll come back to some of those a little bit later on.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms Zero Resified, starting at $119. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and tell them KMOX sent you. Spell it frontward, spell it backwards, still Zero Res.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet. And we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place,
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
a landscaping business,
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
how about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
Well, westbound Highway 70 has slow traffic from the airport out to about Cypress. It's a little busy west of 94 to Zumbel. Still have a jam approaching Mid-Rivers out through 79. That crash just before T.R. Hughes was in the left lane. They were trying to get it out of the way, and then it's slow again west of Lake St. Louis through 61. Eastbound 70 backs up in the Wright City area, slow all the way into Wentzville Parkway. We had earlier troubles that were around Forest Hill. It's just the volume, I think, moving east now. Southbound 170, they cleared the crash at 64. Traffic still slow, though, from Delmar to 64. Westbound 64, Science Center out through Clayton Skinkers, busy. 364 out to 70 is crowded. Southbound 270, a little slow. Olive to Ladue. You're heavy again from Doherty Ferry down to about Gravois. It jams before you get to Gravois. They're still working this crash in the right lane on South 270, midway between Tesson Ferry and 55. Southbound 55, Gasconade through Bates is heavy. There's a couple of pockets around Z down toward Highway A. Eastbound 44 from Lafayette to the Poplar, and 64 on the bridge is heavy. For the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
KMOX KEZK HD2 St. Louis.
This is KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 4 o'clock, we've got wind and 63 degrees downtown at the Arch. Boeing's billion-dollar investment in the St. Louis area, along with hundreds of millions of dollars in tax breaks passed by local governments, all paying off. Boeing will get to build the Air Force's next-generation fighter jet. It was announced today. How many local jobs will be created?
I think when you're looking at the halo effect of something like this, it's hard to say at today how big that's going to be. You know, we talked when we were working on Project Voyager about 500 jobs directly from Boeing.
That's Greater St. Louis Inc. Chief Business Attraction Officer Maggie Coast. Still unclear as whether the bulk of the F-47 work will happen in North County or just the final assembly work. Also not clear is how many current Boeing employees will shift projects versus new workers being hired. KMOX got access to detainees currently held at the St. Louis City Justice Center to discuss the conditions they're living in. The consensus, things were bad.
Everybody all over the place. Everything unorganized.
But are improving.
They've been coming in, they've been showing, helping us out a lot on different levels. I get to talk to my sons more now and my life partner.
Interim Commissioner Doug Burris credits his staff for helping him swiftly implement a number of new programs and an increase in the amount of corrections officers by about 15 to 20%. The KMOX business desk, Tesla CEO Elon Musk gave a pep talk to his troops in an employee meeting on X. Jason Brooks has the details.
Musk talked up what he calls a bright future for Tesla, in particular with autonomous driving and robotics, telling employees to hang on to their Tesla stock. Musk added that Tesla's Optimus robot will be available outside of internal company use by the second half of 2026, with initial sales going to Tesla employees. Employees and shareholders have seen Tesla stock dive 40% in 2025 as sales have plunged in Europe and China, and Tesla dealerships have been attacked in a global backlash against Musk's involvement in the Trump administration.
The Dow from Stifel up 32 points to 41,985.
Partly sunny skies going through our Friday afternoon, but the big deal continues to be almost consistent wind. We're going to see some wind gusts pushing 40 miles per hour, 67 for the high. Dust, smoke, pollen, high fire danger throughout the afternoon into the evening. Clear skies tonight, stays windy at least through midnight, 39. The weekend, Saturday, nice day, sunny and 59 degrees. Rain moves in after midnight Saturday night. Sunday morning showers and 65. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It is 63, feels like 50 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This hour of the DGS is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloor.com.
All right, it's 4:03 on DGS. Dave not with us today. He's hanging out with Phoebe on the last weekend of spring break, so getting a little extra day before she goes back to KU. But he'll be back here on Monday, and obviously Monday's a big deal. We're flipping that switch to go to 104.1 FM, so that'll be new as of 12:01 Monday morning. So we've got that start going on, and obviously if you're listening on the AM dial, it's not going away. Not going away. I cannot recommend highly enough though. If you have the ability, like if you're way out, you're probably not going to pick up the 104.1. But if you're in the suburbs, if you're in the general St. Louis area, you're going to hear it, and it's just everything sounds better. All of us in FM sounds better. The Cardinals in FM sounds better. So that's all coming up starting on Monday. Obviously, we'll tell you a little bit more later about the big first pitch breakfast that's happening in advance of Kegs and Eggs, but as part of our opening day celebration on Thursday. So we'll give you the details on that, but not many tickets left, so you're going to want to go pretty quickly on that one. All right, so we normally would be doing the Fish Smackdown this week. I'm sorry, I got to say it like Dave does. Smackdown. The Catholic Fish Fry Smackdown is normally at this time on Fridays. For a lot of different logistical reasons, we're not going that route today. Dave's not here. Food tasters had some conflicts, things like that. So we're just going to continue that next week. So I guess, what did we decide this was?
It's an exhibition.
It's like instead of the regular season, this is gonna be but it's actually better than the real thing because we have AJ Miller in, who's the GM of Squires in Lafayette Square, and AJ brought us your guys' version of the fish fry. I told you this off the air. I want to say it on the air. That is amazing fish and shrimp. It is phenomenal. I put it over there for a reason. It's not next to me for a reason. I don't want to eat during the segment. So good. So just tell everybody a little bit about what you guys do with it, because you gave me some of the details. Why is it the way that it is? Because I when Rach and I were talking about it, there's a lot of places where there's just too much batter on the fish, or maybe sometimes not enough, or it's not seasoned well enough. What do you guys do with it? Why is it so good? Okay.
That we've had such a great relationship with them, and we're so happy that we can use it for people to drink as well as in our food. But we beer batter our whitefish as well as our shrimp, and then it also comes with mashed potatoes with braised onions, green beans, coleslaw, which is awesome.
Haven't got to try that yet.
So good.
I feel like I'm going to spill it on myself if I don't wait.
And then tartar sauce and cocktail sauce, and then it comes with a roll.
So is this part of is this your normal menu? Do you do it this time of year more often?
So we do it every Friday in Lent, and then we also have our fish and chips on our lunch menu Tuesday through Friday that we also beer batter as well with the Greasy Dick Brothers.
But this that you just described, this is like your version of the big fish fry.
So
that's
the Catholic,
Friday nights.
Yep. Catholic version. I think that we still have a little bit of work to do because some Catholic fish fries are so good, and you just can't compete. But this is our version, and people really seem to love it. And it's homemade. It's made from scratch. It's made with lots of love, and we love doing it every year.
Yeah, it's cool. And look, the stuff that we've had, the people that come in, they bring all of it's great. And you're right. It's tough competition.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out on a limb and bet that, unlike some of those places, you're not going to wait in a 250-yard long line line.
Sure. Yeah,
Talking.
exactly. You can order it right off our menu. You can
Oh,
come in for dinner
all right.
and sit at the table, sit at the bar, sit outside, and just order off the menu. You can do that, or you can just do, whatever else on our restaurant menu that we have that for that evening. So you can pick either fish fry or restaurant menu food. So, it's not like the normal Catholic style where you
Right.
get in line.
So if I want a burger, I'm good.
You're good. You can do burger.
I know
and
some
fish.
people don't. You're not allowed to have burgers on
Yeah,
Fridays.
yeah.
Some people are not, but I'm allowed. So
I just want to say Squires is such a great vibe. You guys have a great patio.
Yes.
Just a beautiful, I mean, you can just sit out there and just kind of enjoy the rest of Lafayette Square. Great bar area. And then I was telling you before we went on the air, I used to love to go into Squires Market and just grab something.
We've got a great market, and we are dog friendly on our patio. So if you
Nice.
have a little animal friend that you want to bring, we love dogs, love seeing them. But yeah, we've got a great market. Lots of really great local things that we carry. We also carry, grab and go things, beer, wine, liquor, gourmet cheeses, cookies, all sorts of sweets.
Rachel, she said cookies.
Yeah.
I know. Wheels is telling me I need to go get these cookies for
So
everybody.
go visit Allison. She's our market lady. Go visit her. She would love to see you guys.
That's awesome. So tell us more about just the business, because obviously this is phenomenal. And you told us about the fish fries on Friday, so people can get that big Catholic fish dinner
Yeah.
done the way that you guys do it, which is, again, I cannot recommend enough. The fish is phenomenal. The shrimp is amazing. Haven't gotten into the sides yet, but they smell great. And I'm tempted right now to just start eating instead of talking. But just tell us about Squires for people that haven't been there like Rach, or people that are just listening. Where can they find you? What's the best place to get info? And what should people know about you guys?
Yeah, so we're down in Lafayette Square, which is just right down, almost downtown, really close to Soulard. We're right on the corner of Park and South 18th Street. You can look online on our website, squires.com. You can go to our Instagram page as well, Facebook page. But like I said, we've been around it'll be 24 years in October, and we do private events. We do big events, small events. We've got a great patio. We do lots of give back to the neighborhood. We're very family friendly. My kids are there almost every day after school. I've been there since I was a kid. So, it's a great family run business, and we love it, and we love our customers. And, so come down and see us. It's almost patio season. So we've got a great patio as well.
So
like
people
Rachel
just,
said.
if they just Google search you, then that's going to get you to all the social
Yes.
media. I know
Yep.
it'll get you to the restaurant website.
Yes,
For
but
anybody that
Instagram,
hasn't
yep.
seen it, it's SQWIRES. So if you
Yes.
haven't seen it, it's pronounced the way you would think
Yep.
it is, but that's how it's spelled. So if you're going to look it up, that's the way to go.
Yes, that's the way. Yeah.
It's awesome to see you, AJ.
Yeah, great to see you.
Thanks for bringing
Thank
this
you so
in
much.
and continuing the fish fry
Yes.
smackdown. You guys have the benefit of not being able to lose, even though you also cannot win the trophy. But maybe we'll give you guys a separate certificate just for
Awesome.
playing.
That'd
We
be great.
appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yep, thanks for popping in. We appreciate it. We
Of
continued
course.
on with the Schmackdown. We'll get back to the competition next week. And again, that's AJ Miller from Squires, SQWIRES. If you want to look it up on Twitter, or on Twitter, on Google, and that'll get you to the website, all the socials, so you can find out what's going on there. All right, stick around. We got a lot more to do before we get to the top of the hour. Man, it's the last 45 minutes before we add FM.
I know, this is crazy.
Love it.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
Well, they're still working on a crash in South County. This traffic reports a service of Volley Incorporated. That crash is in the right lane, South 270, midway between Tesson Ferry and 55. South 270 slow south of Olive de Ladue. It bogs down at Doherty Ferry, and it's stop and go from basically 44 all the way down to the crash scene. More folks are taking southbound 141. You're backed up south of Highview all the way down to Romaine Creek. It's a pretty solid jam there as well if you're thinking about that as an alternate route. Westbound 70 still backed up west of 370, bumper to bumper out to that crash between 79 and TR Hughes. It was in the left lane. After that, it's not so bad. Eastbound 70, still slow pockets from the Wright City rest area, just generally off the pace all the way into Wentworth Parkway from earlier problems. Westbound 64, Science Center to McCausland's heavy. Again, it bogs down approaching 364 out to Highway 70. Southbound 55, Gasconade to Bates is bumper to bumper. Z down toward Highway A is heavy northbound. 67 north of Meyer Road up to Double C jammed on a Friday for you. Eastbound 44 delays from Jefferson to the Poplar, and the Poplar between 3rd Street and the Bridge is heavy in both directions, and emergency repair work continues on eastbound 70 east to Troy. It's jammed back to the Three Eyes. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
It is getting close to decision time for the Cardinals and their roster. This is Tom Ackerman in Jupiter, Florida. Listen for my spring training report, the latest news as we get closer to opening day.
Hear Tom's reports, mornings and afternoons, and on Sports Open Line, on your voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
Brought to you by Volley.
Volley.
Level up game night with Volley, the smart TV app for playing games like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, or test your knowledge with fun music quizzes and party games. Turn your TV into the ultimate game hub with the Volley app on your Roku or Fire TV. Download it and play today.
Volley.
It's Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Save $20 on a Power Torque 248-piece mechanics tool set. Power Torque professional hand tools have a lifetime guarantee, available only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, this is Eddie from Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton, Illinois. The sun is shining bright, and it's time to drop the top or jump on the bike and cross over that big, beautiful bridge into Alton, Illinois. That's right. Check out our new motorcycle corral parking and our expanded new bus parking. It's always sunny in Alton. It's a beautiful ride to come party on that sunny patio. Everybody loves sunny, especially when there's live music 7 days a week. Delicious cheap eats like the Big Elwood on a stick, the half-pound Fast Eddie burger, the hot chick on your stick, those succulent peel-and-eat shrimp, and as always and always will be, the coldest beer in town. So if you're looking for fun in the sun, or even when the sun goes down, come on over to sunny Alton, Illinois. And like Mr. Shannon says, if you're 21 and you're in the mood, head on over to Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton, Illinois.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Hey, everybody. Chris Coonahan for Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection company with over 1 million satisfied homeowners. I'm here to answer all of your home maintenance questions. I have Mary from Des Moines on the line. How can I help, Mary?
You're wrong. You'll see. $100.
Mary, you there?
Hey, Chris, sorry. I'm calling to settle a bet with my husband. Okay, so is it better to deal with a clogged gutter now or wait until the weather's better?
Mary, the time is now. The longer you wait, the more damage you can have. Your husband may have lost this bet, but repairing your gutters can save your family thousands of dollars over the lifetime of your home.
But how much will it cost to get our gutters inspected?
Well, husband of Mary, leaf filter inspection and estimates are always free for new customers. And right now, if you go to leaffilter.com/gutter, you can get an additional 30% off.
I think I won here.
We both did. What's that site, Chris?
That's leaffilter.com/gutter. Visit today to schedule your free gutter inspection.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
When you've been hurt in an accident, you need a law firm that wins. Onder wins. For over 100 years, Onder Law has been winning for St. Louis. With over $5 billion in negotiated settlements and over $300 million in verdicts, Onder wins. Voted best law firm by STL Today 2 years in a row, Onder wins. Whether it's settlements, verdicts, or awards, Onder wins. If you've been hurt in a car accident, trucking accident, or hurt on the job, Onder Law will get you the money you deserve. At Onder Law, winning is what we do. So when the stakes are high, Onder wins. Call us today for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless we win for you. Dial 314 or 6189-million. That's 314 or 6189, then all zeros. Or visit us online at onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
All right, back in on DGS. Dave out today, back on Monday. I think it's appropriate, Rach, that we do a Flashback Friday, considering that it's kind of coming up on I think, I don't know, it might be a bit dramatic to call it a historic change. I think it's a significant change for us at KMOX, though.
Yeah,
Moving
for
on
sure.
to, adding the 104.1 FM signal is a massive change and just a positive one. There's no downside to it. Nothing goes away. Nothing is lost. Everything is gained. That is my definition of a good move, right? I mean, if it was a trade in sports and you're like, yep, you don't lose anything, but you gain good stuff, you're going to make that trade all day, every day. So I guess we can treat this as in advance of that becoming a thing. We can flash back to some other things today on a Flashback Friday.
Absolutely. Back in the day on March 21st, 73 years ago in 1952, a gentleman named Alan Freed held the Moondog Coronation Ball in Cleveland. It's now considered to be the first major rock and roll show in history. So I looked up Alan Freed. He was a DJ, a DJ back in the day. He held this Moondog Coronation Ball. The arena that he held it in Cleveland could only hold 10,000 people, but over 20,000 fans showed up and the crowd broke through the gates. So the cops ended up shutting the entire thing down.
Does it say who played?
It does not
Oh,
say
I
who
got to
played.
Google that,
Yeah,
man.
The Moondog
You say 19
Coronation
what?
Ball.
1952?
1952.
All right, let's see. I bet that's going to come up pretty quick. Oh, there we go. Oh, I had it for a second. There we go. Let's see I wonder if it's going to be anybody big or if it's just going to be people that were
I think it's probably
big at the time.
That's what I'm thinking. Being that it was 1952, it's like, I don't think it was like Elvis Presley or anything.
I was going to say there weren't that many rock stars in 1952. It was still TBD. I don't see any listing of the bands on the Wikipedia page. Oh well.
They still, you know what they had? It was definitely a rock show. 10,000 extra people showed up and broke through the gates. So good
All
for
right,
them.
so I found the banner, the concert poster.
Mm-hmm.
So the 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Man, they were shooting late back in the 1950s.
Dang.
That is a late show. Paul Williams and the Hucklebuckers. And then
Okay.
Tiny Grimes and the Rockin' Highlanders. Those were like two of the big ones.
Love those guys.
They had the Dominoes.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about them, but I know that Danny Cobb, Beretta Dillard. So to all these people, I just do not know.
All right.
All right, there you go. That's pretty cool.
60 years ago in 1965, Martin Luther King led 3,000 civil rights demonstrators on a 54-mile march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, to demand voting rights for Black people. By the end of the march, 25,000 people had joined. 60 years ago, 1965.
Man, it's so recent that it feels wrong.
Yes, I agree. You
Right? Like
think
if
of
that was
as-
200 years ago, you're like, okay, people were stupid back then. Apparently people were stupid 60 years ago.
Yes.
And are still now. A lot of people are. Less though. Less
Yeah,
stupid
that's
people. The
true.
number of us that have stopped being stupid has increased.
45 years ago in 1980, President Jimmy Carter announced to the U.S. Olympic team that they would not participate in the 1980 Summer Games in Moscow as a boycott against the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
The worst. the worst. We need to stop putting people that have nothing to do with geopolitical issues and ruining their careers, the things that they've been working for their entire lives, because other people decided to do something you don't like. Like if you want to put sanctions on a country, I hate it now. I hate that international federations are limiting Russian athletes. They had nothing to do with this. Why should you be punished when you have nothing to do with the problem? You know, having seen some Olympians, I've talked to a couple of Olympians that were supposed to go in 1980, and it was it. That was their shot. They made it. They qualified, and that was it. They weren't going to be able to go back. They didn't get to go back in 1984 when it was in LA. I just don't see the use of using sports or entertainment people as props in political issues.
Let's see here. 41 years ago in 1984, New York re-landscaped a portion of Central Park and renamed it Strawberry Fields in honor of John Lennon. It officially reopened 7 months later on what would have been his 45th birthday.
So it wasn't open forever?
It's been open forever since they opened
Okay,
it.
since they got
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
I got you.
36 years ago in 1989, Dick Clark announced that he was stepping down as the host of American Bandstand after 33 years. He had more than 10,000 musical guests that had appeared on Bandstand, and over 600,000 teenagers danced on camera while Dick Clark was running American Bandstand. 600,000 teenagers.
The original man who never aged.
Yeah, and didn't he just pass away like less than 20 years ago?
Oh, I don't know. Now I have to look because
Yeah, let's Google that because I kind of remember it was still Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin'
it was
Eve.
2012.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
Nice long life.
Yeah. And again, looked like he was 50 when he was 90. I don't know how old exactly he got to be. I don't think he got to 90, but I mean, he forever, he died at 82, but forever he just looked like 20 years younger than he was.
36 years ago in 1989, Sports Illustrated reported allegations that Pete Rose had bet on baseball.
boy.
It took him until 2004 to admit it. So we just talked about this the other day. Just thought
Yeah.
that was kind of interesting.
Not a fan of Pete. Again, a lot of people that don't know the full Pete story don't really share the same contempt for him that I have. Not just the betting, but obviously I mentioned it before. He in court documents admitted to having an affair with a teenage girl. But he's like, no, it was legal age though. Like she was 16. That was legal in that state at that time. Like, okay, buddy, but you're still like a 33-year-old married major league player and you're dating a 16-year-old.
Yeah, anytime you have to be like, oh, no, technically that was legal. It's like,
on a technicality.
let's start reevaluating.
I've actually
this.
interviewed Pete. I didn't know that story at the time.
Oh, okay.
That story wasn't really public until a lot later. It was part of the report that Major League Baseball did. Like they uncovered a lot, but that stuff was not really public knowledge at the time when I interviewed him. And he's actually a fun interview. I get why people like being around him because he's funny and he's pretty quick-witted and all of that. But not a good guy. Not a good guy. Not somebody you want to go to bat for.
No
Sorry,
pun
I
intended.
didn't mean that, but it's appropriate.
Just looking at the stream chat here, Jerry is asking, why did the FM station change from 98.7 to 104.1? Signal strength?
Yep, pretty much.
Exactly that. 104.1
Way
is much
wider
stronger
coverage.
signal, yes.
Right. So if you think of like 98.7, it was pointing in a very specific direction, basically down the I-40 corridor, and it only extended out so far. But if you look at the 104.1, it's more of like, it's considered a market-wide signal, which means it's going to cover in all directions and probably a good bit further out from the downtown area as opposed to what the 98.7 was. So like they're going to be they're both FM. They're both going to sound the same.
Yeah.
This one just has a much broader range. I don't know enough to say whether it's a 5 times larger signal or a 10 times. I don't know that, but it is a significantly larger signal. Yes.
36 years ago in 1989, Madonna released her 4th album, Like a Prayer. It included her hits Cherish and Express Yourself. That's Wheels' favorite pop star.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Yeah, that's his go-to.
I have one Madonna story, and that was the time that she made her debut on the MTV Music Awards, performing like a virgin. And have you ever seen it? Have you seen the video?
Mm-mm.
All right, have you seen it, Andrew?
Yep.
She's basically just rolling around on stage in lingerie.
Okay.
And doing this in prime time on MTV. And we used to get the chance. My parents were cool enough to let me and my brother put the MTV Music Awards on once a year when it would come on. And, my dad would sit in the back and, snark at everybody. And when that started happening, Mom and Dad were not comfortable. And I'll be honest with you, neither were the boys.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that with
I'm
Mom
like,
and Dad.
I'm going to go get a drink, you guys. You keep on enjoying Madonna rolling around on the floor. I'm going to get a drink, and I'll be back.
One more here. 31 years ago in 1994, Michael Jordan was cut from the Chicago White Sox spring training roster and sent to the minors.
Hated that, too. I'm a hater. I hated when he did that.
When he went
and played minor league baseball. I hated that stuff. I hated when Tim Tebow did it. I just hate it when people use their clout to jump the line and push other people out that are trying to do that for real.
Okay.
You're already worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He was at the time was the greatest basketball player on the planet. He just stepped away after his dad passed away. He wasn't like diminished. He wasn't retired. He came back after that and won 3 more titles and won more MVPs and all of that. Like, don't be pushing some 22-year-old guy who's actually trying to make a career out of this to the back of the line because you're friends with the owner of the White Sox because he owns the Bulls. Hate that. So I'm a hater.
That's okay. It's warranted.
Now, a Cardinals spring training report. Sponsored by Wilkie Window and Door, Norm's Bargain Barn, and St. Louis Composting. On your home of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman. The spring training report is sponsored by Norm's Bargain Barn, Wilkie Window and Door, and by St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories. The Cardinals had split squad games today in Jupiter against the Astros, in Port St. Lucie against the Mets, and they lost them both. They lost to the Mets 3-2. Fell to the Astros 5-3 in that Astros game. Victor Scott II hit a home run for the Cardinals, his 4th of the spring. He has had a tremendous spring. And in terms of pitching, Sonny Gray gave up all 5 runs. He will be the opening day starter in 6 days at Busch Stadium on March 27th. The pitching in Port St. Lucie was spectacular from a starting standpoint. Michael McGreevy, 5 scoreless innings. He allowed 1 hit. He has an ERA of 1.08 in spring training. The Cardinals will take on the Nationals tomorrow in Jupiter. We'll have the broadcast on KMOX at 12:05. I'm Tom Ackerman, KMOX Sports.
At 4:30, this news update is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We've got some clouds. It is 63 downtown at the Arch. President Trump has announced the next generation of fighter jet.
The president made the announcement in the Oval Office.
The Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next generation air dominance platform to Boeing.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was there.
This is a big day for our warfighters. This is a big day for our country.
The F-47 is designed to carry a fleet of drone aircraft. Critics question the cost and necessity of the program, saying the Pentagon has not yet fully produced its current most advanced jet, the F-35, while the F-47 will have many of the same advanced technologies. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Boeing Defense is one of the largest employers in the St. Louis region. Detentions of European tourists at U.S. borders are sparking fears of traveling to America.
Tourists getting locked up at the border are sparking fears for travelers to the United States.
Nobody is safe there anymore to come to America.
Lucas Seelaff is a German citizen who visits Las Vegas to see his American girlfriend, Lynn and Tyler. They decided to take a trip to Mexico because her dog needed an expensive procedure that was cheaper there. On the way back through Tijuana, just 22 days into his 90-day tourist permit, he was arrested by U.S. border agents.
They put me in chains everywhere, around my stomach, on my hands, my feet.
And ended up spending 16 days in a detention center in San Diego.
You are angry, you're sad, you don't know when you can get out. You just don't get any answers from anybody.
Tyler, his girlfriend, says when she tried to question a supervisor about what was happening, she was shackled to a bench. At least 3 other international travelers say they were held for extended periods at the U.S. border. A Canadian actress, a backpacker from Wales, and a tattoo artist from Berlin all say they didn't violate the terms of their authorizations or commit any crimes before they were detained for weeks. Pedro Rios, director of the American Friends Service Committee, said it's unusual to see travelers from Western Europe and Canada locked up like this. The University of California, Los Angeles is urging foreign-born students and staff to consider the risks from changes to travel policies before heading out of the country on spring break. The detentions come amid legal fights over the Trump administration's arrests of other foreigners with valid visas and green cards. I'm Jennifer King.
An update of the St. Louis Business Index. You can rewind to 3 o'clock to hear that. On your Odyssey app for tonight, clouds and a low of 39. For tomorrow, sunshine, light wind with a high of 62. Right now, 63 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Now, KMOX traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
We're still busy on South 270, but the good news is they cleared that crash south of Tesson Ferry. South 270 is slow south of Manchester and still bumper to bumper in pockets as you approach 44 down to Tesson Ferry at this time. Southbound 141, that's backed up from about Highview down to Romaine Creek is an alternate route. Pretty tough going there. Southbound Lindbergh, Tesson Ferry, most of the way down to 55. Fairly busy as well. Westbound Highway 70, they cleared that crash. West of 79. There's still heavy pockets, though, approaching 370 all the way out through Highway K. Eastbound 70 still backs up briefly through Wright City, and it jams again east of Forestel, most of the way into Wentz Parkway, really all the way into Highway Z. It's pretty busy on that run eastbound, unfortunately. Westbound 64 Kings Highway out through Clayton Skinker is bogged down again. West of Winghaven out to 70 is slow. Southbound 55 Gasconade through Bates on the brakes, north of Z. Most of the way down to Highway A is busy. Northbound 67 from Buck Creek all the way up to Double C's backed up downtown. 44 and 64 east of Jefferson are on across the Poplar Street Bridge. We still have the roadwork back up eastbound 70 east of Troy. I'm Roger Brand in the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
You've relied on KMOX for news, talk, and sports for generations. And now we're taking that experience to the next level. Starting March 24th, the voice of St. Louis will be on FM. Tune in to 104.1 FM KMOX for the same great programming, including Cardinals baseball. Now with crystal clear sound, 11:20 a.m., 104.1 FM, and streaming everywhere on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen.
Create the ultimate raised bed garden with St. Louis Composting. Our premium compost and soil mixes are perfect for filling the raised beds you'll enjoy building, and even better for growing fresh, homegrown veggies. Imagine harvesting your own tomatoes, peppers, and cilantro for fresh salsa the whole family can enjoy. And with delivery right to your door, getting started has never been easier. Visit stlcompost.com to order a convenient delivery from your phone in seconds, or stop by one of our 9 locations in the St. Louis area. St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories.
Get a couple other bids. Look where Wilkie comes in relative to these other folks.
Kenny talks about his decision to get Anderson replacement windows from Wilkie Window and Door.
I literally saved myself an automobile by going with Wilkie. I was still looking at about a $30,000 difference. You can get a really nice vehicle for $30,000.
It's common sense to go with Wilkie Window and Door.
Get a couple bids. That will only enhance what you're getting from Wilkie.
Get Anderson replacement windows now. Visit wilkiewindow.com.
Ready to make lake life a reality? With Anywhere Lombardo at Lake of the Ozarks, you can build a home designed just for you. Whether it's a cozy retreat or a luxurious lakeside escape, our custom designs bring your vision to life, set against stunning lake views and peaceful surroundings, the perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. With a trusted builder backed by long-standing vendor relationships, you'll enjoy cost savings and superior quality from start to finish. Start your dream home today with Anywhere Lombardo. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more.
There's nothing like it. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the timeless voice of Cardinals baseball.
A swing, and there's a high fly ball. That's hit the deep left field. It might go. It's a goner.
Now, you can experience every pitch, every play, every win in crystal clear FM sound.
Big fly out of Carlson.
Starting March 24th, tune in to 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals, now stronger than ever.
That's DGS on a Friday. Dave will be back on Monday. The rest of us are here. And obviously Monday we add the 104.1 FM signal. I know you're probably tired of hearing us saying it, but you're going to have to get used to it because, well, it's the new,
it's going to be the new
signal.
thing.
So it's going to be the way we talk about it all the time. Andrew, I feel for you, buddy. You have my deepest sympathies for your current home internet situation.
Man, it sucks.
How long have you been without internet now?
Since the storm on Friday.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I know it knocked out our Wi-Fi.
So is this like an area thing or like something in your house got jacked up because of it?
My modem got destroyed by the storm.
So you're waiting for a new modem.
Surged. Yeah, waiting for a new modem. They haven't sent it yet, and I can't watch my stories.
I can't watch my stories.
We're cable cutters, so we have nothing without internet. So it's just like staring at a blank TV.
So this. Like we see stuff.
That's
a modern nightmare.
Yeah.
Like I get it if you're living in Little House on the Prairie times, you didn't have internet, but when you have things and then they're removed, that sucks.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it doesn't. I always hated that. Like my parents always did. Well, we didn't even have color TV. I don't care. I don't care.
That ain't my problem.
Because if you had something back then and it went away, you'd be mad about it.
And I went out and bought an $80 modem because the modem said it is compatible with Charter. And then I got home and hooked it up, and Charter's like, nah, it ain't. So I wasted it.
Well, did you return it?
I opened it.
It doesn't matter.
You can return
Put it back in the
Oh.
box, take it back, return it. Just say it's not compatible.
Okay, then I am gonna.
Yeah, you should do that. Don't just be like, don't eat the $80 because they can just put some tape on it and they'll just resell it to somebody. That's how that works. I used to work at a department store.
Sucker.
Hey, it wouldn't be nearly the worst thing that anybody's returned at a store. Did you ever get that, Rach? Did you ever get that at Radio Shack?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the weird returns or like the crazy ones?
Yeah,
Like
there was
used
actually
This battery's dead. I want to return it.
there was a girl I knew from high school who came in to return a phone charger, and she was being so nice to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's nice. We had a nice little interaction. And then when she left, I realized she just stole from Radio Shack because she basically returned a charger we don't sell. Basically, she had went in, she had bought a charger, she had taken it out of the packaging, and then put her old charger back in the packaging and came and returned it to my face.
You should
And I'm
turned
still
her
mad
in.
at you about that if you're out there
Name.
listening. That
Let's
was
have a
lame.
name.
Oh, no, it's way too. I went to a
Too
high
unique.
school with like 50 people in the whole high school. Like, yeah.
Tell the principal.
Well,
I didn't tell the principal, but I did apologize to my boss for getting.
she knows what she
duped.
did. She
She do- she
should
doesn't
still
care.
be
She's a
guilty
bad
about
person.
it. Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I had
Jennifer.
my first job ever was in high school. I was working the register in the men's department at Sears. That was what I did. My first day was like 2 days before Christmas, which sucked because sorry guys to do the whole back in the day, nobody was having anything delivered to their house. You were all out buying things. So the line was a mile long and all that. And it was like maybe a week later. It might have been right after the holiday rush. This lady comes in and she wants to return some men's pajamas. And they're in the plastic, like the plastic that wrap that they come in, right? They're men's pajamas. It's kind of like, I know, when you buy T-shirts or whatever that are wrapped in plastic. And this was 1988, I think it was. The pajamas were purchased in 1966.
Oh my gosh.
And she wanted to return them because she found them while cleaning out the basement and obviously did not have the receipt from 22 years before and wanted us to return them. And I'm like, I can't return those. I don't even know what the cost is. I don't have a code. I don't have anything to do that. And she's like, I want the manager. I'm like, fine. You get the manager. And he did it.
That's so lame.
He gave her like $10.
Did she have the receipt?
No.
I think
of course not for 22 years ago.
I know you're going to disagree with me because you're a principal guy, but I know you love to argue, but I think that is probably the right call. I think to make a compromise with somebody like that, who's just going to stand there and throw a fit and make everybody lose time and energy because dealing with her when there's better things everybody could be doing. I think to just make the executive decision and be like, look, if I give you a $10 bill, will you get out of my face and leave us all alone and stop harassing my employees?
You know what that's called? Negotiating with terrorists.
Yes.
And I'm
she was a
against it, Andrew.
terrorist.
I'm sorry.
I've been like, you know what? You could stand there and yell at me all day. I'm just going to do my thing, and you can be there. It's
See, I'm
fine.
a path of least resistance guy. I'm what is going to get everybody in this situation de-escalated to a place
Yeah.
of normalcy.
I get where you're coming from.
I
but
do, but
then
man,
it comes down to like, then everyone can start bringing in their old pajamas.
what if she
and
wants to
getting
do it
10
once a
bucks.
week now?
Yeah.
Gonna find some old crap and be like, look, return it.
So now you got to teach these people a lesson.
I will say, like, I do understand, having been in, like the restaurant business, sometimes you're going to give in a little bit because the idea, and this is what my manager told me at the time, because I looked at him and I was like, why did you give her money? He's like, look, I don't know if she's going to come back or not, but if she's happy, she might shop here. And like, that's the whole point
Yeah.
of the customer is always right. That's the reason why, even if the person who's the patron at the restaurant's being kind of an ass, you're probably going to err on the side of making them happy because the idea is you want them to come back.
Yeah.
Still,
Still, I
would
don't
not
negotiate with terrorists.
I would not have given that lady $10. And by the
Heck
way,
no.
$10 in 1988 is probably $25 now.
Yeah, that's a good amount of money.
$25 now.
For your old pajamas that are older than Wheeler.
For
like,
your
that's
old,
not
they
fair.
were.
Like 1966,
were.
that was before you were born.
I was born in 71. These pajamas were older than me. Obviously, nobody's carrying the same pajamas. That was kind of what I was trying to explain. I'm like, we don't carry these anymore. Like, I don't have a code. I can't scan them. I can't return them in that way.
Lady,
She's like,
this
"They're-
brand isn't even a thing anymore.
get your manager. I'm like, you got it. And then you're not my problem, lady.
What we would have at the Shack is if someone returned like an iPhone or something, you would be subject to a restocking fee at times.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
like a big TV or something. And that's to discourage people from like buying a big screen television to watch the Super Bowl on
And then returning it.
the
Yep,
next
yep.
day.
Okay, now this I like. You give her $10 to shut her up and get her out of your hair, and then you snatch it out of her hands and you go restocking fee.
Ah, man. I just the nerve of some people
Oh, I'm getting mad thinking
to
about it.
act like somebody owes you something when you are so clearly wrong. Like, really, like if it was down there for the last 22 years, you weren't hurting for those $10.
Yeah.
You never even knew it was there.
You didn't even know about
You didn't
these
even
jammies.
remember that you bought it. It was a non-issue. Like, why would you do that? I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry about your internet situation. Do you have an ETA on when the new modem is arriving?
No. So my wife spoke to them, and I thought she said that it's coming within 2 or 3 days. And what they actually told her, and I misheard, was they're going to try and send it within 2 or 3 days.
Oh.
Which was 3 days ago, and they still haven't sent it.
Isn't there a charter store you can go by and just pick one up?
Yeah.
No, because the one in Alton is like indefinitely closed. We went to it because it doesn't say it's closed online, but when we got there was a sign on the door that was like, "You're out of luck." I will say though, I don't just want to. If I'm gonna talk about how mad I am that store was abruptly closed with no warning, because I'm extremely angry about it. I do need to say, twice now I have like called because we also had like an outage at our house specifically that needed to get resolved before we could even fix the modem situation. And so I talked to some call center people, and man, it was some incredible customer service. It was easy to get to a real person, not an AI, and they were very helpful. They were very nice. They were very understanding. I gave them that same energy back in the hopes that they would make their day a little brighter, which I think that it did. I think they're used to people screaming at them. Where's my internet? My iPad kids can't, watch Barney and everyone's freaking out. And it was a very nice interaction. And we always talk on how much customer service is terrible now and how it's impossible to get through a person. And if you do, they're super unhelpful. And I just wanted to give credit where it was due. Spectrum customer service was actually pretty incredible and helpful with our issues.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good times. Always
deal.
nice when you get good service.
Yeah.
Because you expect it from more like mom and pop and local because they're obviously a human being that cares about it as opposed to somebody who's thousands of miles away and doesn't care. So it's good when you get that.
Doesn't surprise.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
This traffic report is a service of Interpark Holdings. Westbound Highway 70 still slow from Mid Rivers out through to about Bryan Road and a little busy past 61. Eastbound 70 is better, but it's still bunched up in stretches east of Wright City all the way in through Wentzville Parkway. So pretty tough. Eastbound, you don't ever expect to see that, really. Westbound 64, Kings Highway out through McCausland, that's still kind of slow. And again, pretty busy from 364 out to 70. South 270, south of Manchester, busy down to Big Bend. It's jammed, Big Bend to 44, and then slow down to Tesson Ferry because of the recent crash. Southbound 141 still backed up, approaching 13th Street down to Romaine Creek, so it's a little bit better there. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates, heavy. There's slow stuff approaching Z. Down through McNutt opens up before you get to Highway A. Eastbound 64 Jefferson onto the Poplar. Again, both directions of 64 are heavy on the Illinois side. Westbound actually backs up on a 5570 in Exchange. Again, not a jam, but it is slow. And eastbound 70 just a little heavy in the work zone east of Troy, so it's getting better there. Make game day parking easy with iParkit, with 2 convenient locations on Clark Avenue right next to the ballpark. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using your license plate. Choose iParkit for convenience and peace of mind. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
So if you have managed to save $500,000 for retirement, congratulations. That is a big number. That's a lot of money. Should be enough. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Depends on so many factors. But that $500,000 could spend like $300, or it could spend like $700. Same way, you saved $1 million. $1 million. That could spend like $500,000. It could spend like $2 million. It just depends on what you do with it once you retire. We can help you figure that out at Retirement Planning 101. That's a 3-hour course being put on a couple times a month at libraries and colleges around town by my client, Financial and Tax Architects. We'll talk about retirement savings. We'll talk about taking your money out of 401ks and Roth. We'll talk about Social Security, when to take it, when to wait, when to do it at 62, all these things and more. It's all completely free. 314-350-8110 to reserve a space. 314-350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architect.
KMOX Kids and Eggs, presented by Budweiser, is back at Cardinals Nation Restaurant in Ballpark Village, Thursday, March 27th from 11 till 2. It'll feature a live KMOX broadcast, a brunch buffet, draft beer from Anheuser-Busch products, and select mixed drinks. All-inclusive single tickets and tables on sale now. Celebrate this unofficial holiday with KMOX, Budweiser, Overhead Door Company, St. Louis Composting, Rally House, and Dirt Cheap. Get your tickets now at KMOX.com/events.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate. Paid for by Bayer.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I'm Frank Ladd. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
All right, last 3.5 minutes before this show, because the station won't be on until Monday morning, but the next time this show is on, KMOX will be on 104.1 FM.
And still 11:20
Yep.
a.m.
Yep.
But 104.1 FM, I am super excited. Like I've been saying, I probably sound silly saying this over and over again, but I kind of can't believe it's happening. Like, it's just so exciting and so cool.
Big time move, all good, no bad, for KMOX, for all of us around. And obviously we told you guys about all the changes and everything for Monday too. It's not that much. And for DGS, no changes, so you don't have to worry about anything. All right, let's finish with some life hacks, Rach. The final few minutes of this week so we can head into the weekend knowing a little bit more about how to make our lives better.
Absolutely. Here's another life hack for you. They say to open a bag of chips from the bottom because that's where all the seasoning rests. Flipping the bag makes it sprinkle down so you have better tasting chips the whole way through.
Huh. Okay. I can see that. You can also shake the bag, but if you do that, you might bust up some of the chips.
Yeah,
so.
I like to keep my chips whole if I can.
Yeah. That's a good hack.
All right, here's another life hack. Slow down to speed up because you're more likely to make mistakes if you rush. Then you have to go back and do it again, so it takes longer in the end. That's more of just like an adage for life rather than a life hack.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like there's a difference between this is a thing. This is Coach Wheeler coming out now. But there's a difference between being in a hurry and being rushed.
Yes.
Right? A hurry is controlled. You know what you're doing. You're focused. When you're in a rush, you're starting to get out of your lane. Like, I can't find my keys. Where are my keys? And you start to not think straight. It's good advice.
Write down every good idea that you have. Don't depend on your memory. I kind of agree with this. I have on the show sheet today, like I have to make lists of things. If I have a lot of things to do in a day, I have to write it down on a list or else I will forget something. I'm kind of worthless without the list.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
I kind of need it.
I don't remember. I have to put everything in my phone or I'm not going to remember. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I have to have a reminder in my phone to remind me to take out the garbage. And it's the same day every week, all the time. And if I don't put the alarm on my phone, I will forget.
Here's one more life hack for you guys. A spoonful of sugar helps the hiccups go down. People claim a packet or two of sugar stops them immediately.
Really?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I sometimes get hiccups so bad, like I cannot stop.
Really?
Yeah, I'll get them during the show sometimes, and it's just embarrassing. And luckily, it'll happen during maybe Bernie's segment or something where I'm just not as active. I'm just sitting there going,
I think you should open the mic and get real close.
Just every time I need to hiccup, I'll just, pardon me, you guys.
I have a dead cinch lock method of getting rid of hiccups every time. The first time it works for me every time.
Ooh, let's hear it.
I don't know if it'll work for everybody else, but it works for me every single time without fail. You wait for a hiccup, and as soon as you get that hiccup, you hold your breath and down as much water as you can down as fast as you can down it, and you basically just drown it.
I was gonna say I feel like I would drown if I did that.
No. I mean, well, you hold your breath when you drink.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're not a fish. It's not going to go very well. But that every time it works for me.
All right, I'm gonna have to try that next
I
time.
don't know if it will work for you.
Show.
You know, no promises.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, every time, man. You guys have a great weekend.
We'll talk to you on FM.
Choose Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil, formulated for today's engines, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic or a MicroGuard Select filter for just $32.99 in-store only. Limits apply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, spring is here. That means lawn care time. And, that's more than just, mowing and edging and all that. It's also taking care of it, feeding it, fertilizing, making sure that you're not letting weeds